Chainsaw Man Chapter 140 is a very strange chapter where I honestly don't know where Fujimoto is taking the story. Honestly, no matter how many bingo boards are made, Fujimoto makes it almost impossible at this point to predict what could happen next chapter, which is definitely a good thing. But the chapter starts with Denji going to the Chainsaw Man church, and we literally see it's a giant corporate building with Chainsaw Man's face on it, which is really funny. And we're told by Sugo that the Chainsaw Man church's building was allegedly owned by an evil cult in the past. But Denji, not caring about any of this, just asks where the woman at. I mean, let's face it, the only reason why Denji joined the Chainsaw Man church in the first place was to get laid. And when Sugo said, yeah, don't worry about that, we'll get to that in a bit, buddy. In this moment, I knew Sugo may not be the person he put himself out to be, and Denji got sold into a timeshare. But all jokes aside, I knew there were going to be some off-the-wall events that were going to happen in this chapter, because we learned that Denji goes on his tour of the Chainsaw Man church, which is actually given by Kobani's brother of all people, the same brother who was so smart Kobani was forced to become a devil hunter to support his education. Well, apparently it was all for nothing because Kobani's brother Nobana has been completely brainwashed by the Chainsaw Man church's lies and is a part of a cult. Because when Denji clearly observes that the members of the Chainsaw Man church are all mainly students around his age or younger, Nobana says it's because America has ultraviolet ray weapons in the Japanese air, and it's diminished the adult mental faculties, and that's why the students are the ones who formed the Chainsaw Man church. And when I read this, I honestly thought this was a joke, but it seems that the students and even Sugo do actually believe this, because he says America is the freaking worst. And what Nobana says next gets even crazier, and it's really become even more of a continuation of other people using Chainsaw Man's name to push their own agendas, which is something that Denji absolutely despises and, well, he really does hate. And what Nobana says next is, it's for real. The Chainsaw Man's devil powers give him supervision, and that's how he discovered the ultra ways that are affecting the adults' minds. Now, as crazy and off the wall as this information is, with every lie, there is a shred of truth, because Denji himself never went to space, but Pochita, the one who actually got shot into space by Makima, well, he did. And even if it wasn't ultraviolet rays, there's no telling what he saw up there, and it wouldn't be outside the realm of imagination that there will be some kind of super weapon in space that would cause mass destruction or stir up unrest in the world, and this could be the first sign of Fujimoto actually foreshadowing this. And Denji, realizing that he's been tricked into coming to the Chainsaw Man church, still goes along with all this for the chance of getting laid, which is really funny. I mean, Denji's down bad, incredibly, until he noticed the Chainsaw Man chapel, and he's told that he can have sex with a girl in the next room, but immediately after he has to get married and have children with this girl to raise them in the Chainsaw Man church. And after hearing this for the second time in part 2, Denji actually stands up for himself and really goes in on Sugo and Nobana, and even dispels a lot of the lies that have been told about him. And even when Sugo hears the truth, he doesn't acknowledge what the Chainsaw Man church is doing is wrong, since, I mean, even if they lie a little, they screw a couple of people along the way. I mean, they are still saving lives, and after all, it is the right thing to do, along with the logical thing to do, at least in Sugo's mind. But we can see, similar to Denji when he made his decision to come to the Chainsaw Man church, Sugo isn't thinking things through logically and remains ignorant of the things to maintain the life that he has within the Chainsaw Man church, which is giving him the life that he's always wanted, to be able to live a life that's, well, a life where he can make his own decisions and pretty much live life as freely as he wanted to. But also because they do a lot of good. But what's funny about this is, for all the good that Chainsaw Man church claims that they have done, besides Asa's actions, we haven't ever really seen any of it. And I like the argument between these two because it shows that Tsuko is almost like how Denji was a year ago in part 1, and it's almost like Denji is really arguing with his past self, when Denji actually acted almost the same exact way. And it only does show how far Denji has progressed as a character post his regression, which I'm sure many of us are very familiar with. And then we get a really crazy reveal, because it was revealed that Barum, the flamethrower John Travolta looking hybrid from part 1, is part of the Chainsaw Man church and is actually the one who sent Sugo to bring Denji to the Chainsaw Man church. And this guy is absolutely insane, because he's seemingly willing to do any length it would make to make Denji transform into Chainsaw Man again with the purpose of possibly bringing back Pochita. Because when Biram first introduced himself and poked Denji in the nose and Denji threatened to throw hands against him, he said, "If you did, Chainsaw Man might come to save me." Now obviously Denji doesn't know what this phrase could mean, but is referring to the fact that, according to Makima, when a person asks Chainsaw Man to save them, it's usually followed by their deaths. That means that Biram seemingly knows more than he should compared to Sugo and Haruka, and he may be in collaboration with the Famine Devil and has more insider knowledge than most of the members of the Chainsaw Man Church actually do. Biram starts pressing Denji's button to see what would set Denji off and make him turn to Chainsaw Man again. By threatening to unleash a devil onto Tokyo, which, I mean, again, they have done in the past with the Fallen Devil. After all, the Famine Devil is secretly its leader. But Denji coming to the terms that he doesn't have to be the hero all the time brings up the fact that there are plenty of other devil hunters out there in Tokyo, and besides, they do have Asa now. And Biram calls Asa stupid, and the look on Denji's face turns into a look of terror because Denji wore his heart on his sleeve, and Biram, realizing that Denji does care about Asa, takes advantage of this and threatens Asa's life. And presents Denji with two choices, a choice that Denji has been battling with since the start of this arc. The option to live a peaceful normal life with his family and friends, or the ability to be Chainsaw Man again, to have the ability to protect the one person outside of his family that he actually cares about. And what's interesting is the option, which was Denji's dream of having a normal life outside of being Chainsaw Man, is actually covered in a shadow. And this could be a reference to the yin and the yang, where the dark decision is actually the happier and the more logical decision, but is a lot harder to maintain, while the latter path, which is easier, could lead to a negative outcome. And this is really tying back to the themes in part 1 and especially in part 2, which was the ability of choice and free will. Throughout part 1 and 2, Denji has been given many choices that he's had to make, but in all of the choices where he's been made to make where there were only two options, he never picked one or the other, or he always picked a third option. And when he did pick one of only the two options, I mean, generally they always ended in disaster for him. Take for example Denji and Makima. Denji decided the best option for him when he lost Aki was become Makima's dog, which indirectly led to Power's death, or Denji having to choose between saving his life by killing his father or letting his father beat him with the hope that he isn't dead by the end of it, which is a decision that no person, especially a child of all people, should ever have to make. But it seems that Denji is going to have to make a decision because the glass story that Denji has been living in for most of part 2 so far is going to be crashing down on him real soon. Because as Denji runs away in complete terror that we haven't seen him actually do since the beginning of Chainsaw Man Part 1, Biram says an ominous line that he should enjoy his normal life while he can, which shows us that the Chainsaw Man Church is going to make Denji make a decision whether he likes it or not, and he's going to have to live with it. Well, let me know in the comments, guys, if Denji had to choose between saving Asa in Japan or saving Nayuta and living the life he's always wanted, at least what he said he wanted, which one is he choosing? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.